Little to impact the energy and excitement inside Stegman Coliseum. A Sunday night showdown at the Steg as two of the top 15 women's gymnastics teams in the country square off in Athens. Matt Schick alongside former All-American herself, Sydney Sneed. And Sydney, this should be a great night full of entertainment. You've got a young yet very talented Auburn squad taking on a Georgia Gym Dogs team riding a wave of momentum.
Yeah, Matt, Georgia is coming off of a huge meet from Friday night, so they're going to continue to want to build off of that. Auburn, on the other hand, looking to piece together a full meet to their full potential. And what better way to do that than on the road?
And that will be a challenge on the road, facing a Georgia Gym Dogs team that has a pair of first-team All-Americans headlined by Lily Smith.
Yeah, Lily Smith, such an incredible athlete for this Georgia lineup. Not only is she a huge contributor, but just such a standout performer. Her absolute lines are so elegant. She is just a star for them, and I'm so excited to watch her continue all season long, just with her consistency and what she brings to this team.
The two-time All-SEC gymnast coming off her first career 10 on floor. That came Friday in the quad meet right here at the Steg. For Auburn, you mentioned it, Coach Jeff Graba stressed the importance of putting it all together, supporting one another tonight. Here's the head coach meeting with his squad moments ago.
Stay in your bubble. We got 4 events, and we just got to get through that. Don't get distracted, all right? Help each other. One routine at a time. That's all you did here in practice, and it worked out fantastic. All right? Just duplicate what you just did, we're going to be happy. All right? Let's go.
Really stressing that to us on our call, and then even tonight, just making sure that if whether you're competing or not, you're doing your part.
That's a huge role. Yes, you have your 6 athletes in the lineup that are actually doing the gymnastics, but your team supporting you, yelling for you, cheering for you, everyone being on the same page, that all plays such a huge factor in each competition and making these teams successful.
That is a 3-time SEC Coach of the Year. On the Georgia side, Coach Cecile, she had co-head coach Ryan Roberts. She was a member of the French Olympic team in 1996, coached the 2024 U.S. Olympic team to gold, and they have done a great job of bringing excitement back into this sport here at Georgia.
You can just feel it here in this arena, the excitement the fans have, the excitement the team has, and getting able to talk to them just really showed how excited they are for this program and the success that's come along with it.
A couple of years ago at this time, they were 20th in the country, now a top 10 program, seemingly on an annual basis. And we will go in Olympic order. Georgia starting on the vault, and Jeffrey Scott, the senior out of Kansas City, Missouri, with a good start.
A huge vault from Jeffrey Scott. She does a Yurchenko full, but her execution and that controlled landing is something that really stands out to me on top of the height she gets off of the table. Really strong standout.
And Georgia starts on vault, Auburn on bars for the first rotation. First of 4 rotations tonight in this dual meet in Athens. Pretty good crowd on hand considering the weather.
The crowd is one of the best parts about competing, just knowing that the fans support you. It gets so loud, it just gives you that extra adrenaline.
Sophomore Marissa Neal out of Blue Springs, Missouri. Going to compete in the all-around tonight. It will be the 3rd straight meet that she has done that.
She's such a strong leadoff for them. We talk about that first spot in these lineups. They really set the tone for the rest of the athletes competing after them. So it is more of a pressure situation, I always like to say.
Had a season high 9.875 against LSU this year.
She starts with that Maloney down to Pax Salto. You have that release move. She's trying to get those handstands on top of the bar. She was a little bit short, but does that blindfold to double tuck dismount, had a small hop back, so that'll be a deduction. But overall, a strong start for them.
For last week in their meet against Florida, her score was dropped in the bars. I don't think you're going to drop that one tonight.
Yeah, and you talk about that. You want your lineup and your scores to build as you go down in your lineup. So that's always a good place to be.
Avery Mall, one of a handful of freshman contributors tonight from Canal Fulton, Ohio.
We'll see a 10-0 vault from her tonight. She does a 1.5. Looks like she landed a little bit straight-legged, which sometimes can be scary, but it looks like she's okay. So again, that's your 10-0 vault. We'll take another look here to catch that landing. You see she gets nice height, is able to twist in the air, breaks out of it, and almost wasn't ready with her left leg. But we'll see what the judges take from their angle.
That follows DeFree Scott's 9.85. We'll see what they decide on Mole. Now Hannah Hagel, the lone senior in the lineup tonight for Auburn. We talked about how young this squad is, really heavy in the junior class. Hagel, her 4th season with Auburn. Did great on the beam in their last meet against Florida. Still waiting on Marissa Neal's score. 9-7 for Marissa Neal, starting on bars. And again, what are the points of emphasis here?
The judges are really looking at those handstands to be right on top of the bar, and then those release moves where you're letting go of the bar, catching it again, the execution on that, and then your dismount, sticks. You'll hear us talk about that throughout the broadcast, but those are the main things that we will be paying attention to.
Senior from St. Augustine, Texas.
She started off with that handstand on top of the bar. She does that to Tkachev down into the bail. Now she did hit her feet on the mat, so that is going to be a deduction for her, unfortunately. But getting ready for this double layout dismount.
Stuck it.
Makes it up with a stick.
And
So
again, this is a sport about deductions, right? You're looking for certain incremental errors.
yeah, and you can see here, that's a really nice release. She just couldn't quite get her grip on the bar and hits her feet on the mat. So the judges will take a deduction on that, a pretty significant one.
Georgia off to a great start so far, a 9-9 for Mall. And now, Jada Battle, slight step forward. Been improving every meet, according to her coaches.
So much power in that vault. She almost bounced out of it. And again, that is a difficult 1.5 Yurchenko. You can take a look here and see she bounces out, takes that step forward. So the deduction will come from that landing. But I love that she was able to spot that blind landing and know where she was at in the air.
She anchored the vault lineup in that win over LSU. Had a career high against Oklahoma as well. And now we welcome in Charlotte Booth from the broadcast booth. The freshman from Claremont, Florida. Senior elite level gymnast for both Team USA and Team Great Britain. Represented Great Britain in 2024 as one of the British Olympic team alternates.
What a really cool fun fact.
Battling back from injury. Available in a few events, doing this one tonight.
And when we talked to Coach Jeff Graba, he said that this routine is toned down a bit. So we'll see here, she has so many different tricks and skills that she can do. But you'll see, she starts with that Maloney, down to the Pac Salto again, and then she's gonna go right back up into a Van Leeuwen. So it's that Maloney half. So there was a lot going on right there that's very difficult. She just has her double layout dismount left. Slight shift of her feet. I mean, that's if we're being really picky here. And who knows what the judges will take, but a nice routine from her. We'll see here on these releases. You see that half twist as she's catching the high bar. And then that double layout, her legs are a little bit separated throughout. But again, another nice routine for Auburn.
Much needed after Hannah Hagel, as you see the 9.550, which they hope will be dropped. As top 5 do count, and they drop one. Here is Kamara Williams, speaking of talented freshmen.
And that is a stick. I mean, I have loved watching her this year. I saw her stick it in warm-up, so I'm so excited that she stuck it in a competition as well. She is just so young, but competes like a veteran. I mean, just look at this vault. The height, the block she gets off the table. She almost breaks out and drops it right in there for that stick.
She just signed with Georgia in November, enrolled early, officially joined in mid-December, December 11th, competed in December 13th, 2 days later.
That's so crazy, but I think a takeaway from that, it just shows you how much she loves the sport of gymnastics. That she was like, hey, I want to come here early. I want to be on campus. And she missed the whole preseason and is still lights out so far.
9.95 for Williams. She had a 9.95 Friday night in the quad meet, so picking up where she left off. Here's a look at Kiko Jung out of Allen, Texas. Great to see her back in the lineup. Had a season-ending Achilles injury at the end of February a year ago. In this, her second meet back.
Yeah, so far, so good on this routine. An emotional comeback for her to be able to compete again after such a hard injury. A little bit of leg separation on that Van Leeuwen that we just saw and bent knees. Again, that's if we're being picky here, but then ends with a double tuck, full twist in there. A little bit of form throughout is what I think the judges will take, and then those deductions on the landings. But she should be so proud, gaining that confidence week after week, again, from coming back from injury. You can see here, she does that full twisting double back, steps off to the side. But at this point, she's just looking to hit and gain her confidence back.
Coach Graven said he wants her to just help lighten the load a little bit, bring a little more levity to what can be a pretty stressful situation. Nyla Aquino out of Boston. The sophomore puts it down.
Absolutely, and this is a different kind of vault. She's excited about it, but it's a soup full. So she does a round off onto the table and then does that full twist. But one thing to note, look at how she just floats in the air. That beautiful body extension. She flares her arms out to break out of that and then is able to hold on to that sticks. We like to say sticks are contagious, so.
One stick deserves another. SEC all-freshman team from a season ago. Yeah, that could be a season high for Aquino. That was terrific. Olivia Graves, the junior out of Staten Island, New York. One of the leaders on this team, sister of Sophia, also on the team as well. It's a little fist pump before she takes the bars. Qualified for the NCAA championships on bars last season. See Aquino on 9.90. The lowest of 6 will be grayed out and dropped. Jeffrey Scott at this point for vault is the lowest score at 9.85.
We'll see a big release move right there. That's called a church release move, and then she goes right down to the low bar for that pack salto. Right back up to the high bar. Again, these routines are packed with so many difficult skills. She does that full twisting double back. I love how that dismount was off and she took that slight hop. She was able to cover it very well for minimal deductions on that. Take another look here, this release move. Look at the extension she gets. She's able to release right down into the low bar, and then the height off the bar, a little bit crooked, but again, the judges are at the side, so they might not be able to see what we're able to see.
Her season high is 9.85. We'll see if she can inch close to that. Back to the vault. The anchor, Addie Wall, first team All-American last year in the vaults. A little minor step back.
And that's, again, a very difficult vault, that 10-0 that we're seeing. A little bit of under rotation, which is why she had to take that step backwards. But she is such a powerful athlete. Her arms, perfect on the table, just had too much distance, not enough height, and that causes that under rotation there.
Call a medium step there, maybe a tenth of a
yeah, they would probably take a tenth, depending. But I like that. I like that you're on top of it, though.
All in the eyes of the judges. Jong had a 9.725. Graves with a 9.7, and now the anchor for the uneven bars, Alex Irvine, her second season with Auburn, transfer from UCLA.
One thing I love about this routine is the form that she has throughout. She starts with that pike Jaeger down to that bail. The judges are looking for that to be at least horizontal. Another handstand on top of the bar. Notice the height she gets on her dismount. Couldn't quite get the stick, but that's a really good score for Auburn.
You see the score tower on the right-hand side as we total up these scores. What'd you see?
Notice there the height she gets as she's releasing. Sometimes it's hard off of the bar to get higher on that, but she does a great job and then is able to control it on the way down as well.
Well, that Georgia score, that Georgia vault score, a season high 49.475. Only Oklahoma and Utah have scored higher on the vault this season. They're a reason they're a top 10 team.
They're going to be so pumped about that. That's an amazing score for them. That comes from the execution and the landings that they have throughout their vault lineup.
Gym Dog fans painting their chest, their face, and everything in between. The sunglasses are on, the heat is up, the energy is high here at the Stag. We'll flip it. Georgia going to the bars, Auburn going to the vault, upcoming in the second rotation. The score is finally in, a 9.825 for Irvine. So Hagels is dropped. Georgia with the lead after the first rotation. What's in a name? The evolution of the Yurchenko. Next. SEC Women's Gymnastics is presented by Sprouts Farmers Market, official healthy grocer of the Southeastern Conference. Matt Chick alongside former All-American Sydney Sneed. Georgia leading by nearly a point after the first rotation here at the Stag. Well, you've heard us mention Yurchenko time and again. For those new to the sport, what's in a name, Sydney Sneed? Why do we call it this?
Well, we're going to take a look here at the evolution of the Yurchenko. Natalia Yurchenko first ever competed in 1982. When you compete a skill for the first time successfully, it is named after you. So really cool to see how it has grown all the way into the Yurchenko full that we see a lot of, and the Yurchenko 1.5 that we've called out, adding that extra half twist all the way up to a Yurchenko double full, which we are going to see tonight from Sophia Bell. So how neat to see that evolution, even to break it down further. You see the table right here, and then notice the height that we get blocking off of that vault table. Higher than a basketball rim, I have to point out. So really impressive. I am excited to watch her compete that Yurchenko double full, but also seeing just, like we mentioned, the evolution of it.
She hopes that double is a slam dunk tonight out of Blue Springs, Missouri. Can't wait to see that. Made history this year for Auburn. Looks to do it again. A top 15 show. Addie Wall with a good leadoff there for Georgia. This is our SEC Network Wednesday men's basketball matchup. Texas A&M taking on number 23 Alabama at Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern. Tough loss today for Alabama against Florida on the men's side. Mia Leverton, one of 6 kids, was a vault floor and all-around champion at Coastal Classic last year. A homeschool freshman. Little step forward there.
And a nice 1.5. She did have that step forward, but we'll take another look here to see this from the side. She gets a nice block and is able to twist quickly. She broke out in time for that stick, but unfortunately didn't quite have it. That's still going to be a strong score for Auburn, though.
Following up Graves' 9.825. We'll see what Leverton gets. And now, Jenga Bashkoy, the senior out of Hungary, former transfer from Nebraska, transferred in the summer of 2024. In her second season with the Gym Dogs, qualified for the Paris Olympics on vault.
She's an athlete that has a bag full of tricks. So this routine, she is another one of those that is able to do an even more difficult routine here. And you'll see why. Her bars are amazing. She does that pack salto down to low bar. And then we see another Van Leeuwen here. Again, those judges are looking for those handstands on top of the bar. Nice blindfold into a double tuck. Small step backwards. But again, their lineup is building, and that's what you want.
Had a season high 9-8-0 against Georgia. We'll see if she can match this. Against Oklahoma, I should say.
Notice right here that blindfold, how quick she was on the turn, so she's able to land on top of the bar and set herself up for that double tuck dismount.
That follows Addie Wall's 9.775. So Vascoy hoping to exceed that number. Here's Marissa Neal, again, competing in the overall and the all-around tonight. Coach Graves said she doesn't want anyone to talk to her before she does any event.
Yeah, that's how some athletes are, and I totally get it. She does Ayurcheka 1.5, does a really good job covering up that hop backwards, because again, we see that happen when there's under rotation. So notice here, she didn't quite get as high of a block as she would have liked, so takes a tiniest hop backwards, but does a nice job again covering it up.
Leverton had a 9.850. We'll wait on Neal's score. Still waiting on Boscoy. Again, a duplicate 9.775. So Khalees Wolford, the freshman out of Orange, New Jersey, tied for the top spot for the event in bars at the event at Ohio State. Good on the bars, good on the beam. Here she is on the unevens.
She's really good on this event. That handstand, just textbook. When she hits those handstands, they are picture perfect. And she's just such an aggressive bar swinger. I mean, she floats through the air. She's hitting all of her handstands. Just has to get this stick on this double tuck. Tiny hop. Again, we're being nitpicky here, but that's what the judges see. I really liked that routine. The height she got on that pack salto. Take another look at these handstands. That straddle stalter around the bar into her double tuck. The height, she doesn't even have to grab her legs. That's how much power she has.
And her season high was a 9.9. We'll see how that compares. Back to the vault. Julianne Hough, third season with the Tigers. That puts that one down.
She has such an aggressive vault, and she does a really good job breaking out for her landing. And you can see she did it right here, almost had that six. She breaks out. She's sitting upright like you're supposed to be, but just, again, that's why gymnastics is such a tedious sport. It's the smallest movement of your feet, and those are the tiniest little deductions that you can take.
It's a sport based on deductions. You start at 10, and then how much
you go backwards.
Below that do you go? Free Scott. See her bars average on the season. At a 9.9 at Oklahoma and Friday night in the quad. Here's the senior from Kansas City.
She is capable of a really big score here. You see her do that ray all the way down to the pack salto into a Van Leeuwen. Again, one thing that Georgia has are a lot of difficult skills, and they're not afraid to do them. She does a double layup dismount. Again, these routines are so strong. They're looking at these sticks. Where can we improve for next week? And it's going to be those stuck landings. Take a look at how high she gets right here on this release move. Sky high. Wow. Sky high, is able to catch the bar and then release again right after that. And then the dismount, really nice execution throughout.
Elite level athletes. You see Wolford for Georgia with a 9.90 on bars. Here's Sophia Bell, we mentioned it. The double full with the step back.
Double full, and notice she had too much power, so the judges, a little bit of an uncontrolled landing. She bounced back, took that step, but that doesn't take away from the difficulty of that double full.
What's the benefit of doing the double full if you don't get rewarded for extra points?
We talked about this earlier. It's that risk versus reward. So in the beginning of season, it's okay to do those, but as the season goes on, they're going to want to solidify those higher scores. And is that going to be with a double full, or are we going to water it down? That's something that the coaches are going to have to look at.
Julianne Hough, by the way, with a season high 9.875. Graves with a career high 9.825, but that one is dropped at the moment as the top five are scored.
One of my favorite things about her as a bar swinger is her toe point and her extension. She starts with that pipe Jaeger, but look at her toes. Perfectly pointed all the way through. That's really difficult to do. That's a hard thing to teach in gymnastics, is that form aspect that plays a huge role into deductions and scores. So far, a gorgeous routine. Can she get a stick on this double layout? Almost had it.
Just a freshman, so talented. Helped the team score well in that bars at Oklahoma. Had a mistake a couple of weeks ago, rebounded last week against OU. Really good event here. Paige Zankin now, the junior, the anchor for the vault for the Tigers. Top 10 nationally.
And you'll see why she does that unique vault. Oh, unfortunately, just looked like she didn't have much air awareness on that landing, which is tough. She does a front handspring onto the springboard, front handspring onto the table, into that front pike. So a lot different and unique of a vault than most athletes. She just breaks out too early. She had the power, she had the height. Look at the block she gets. She's able to rotate, just broke out a little too early. So she's not gonna be happy with that. We usually see a huge vault out of her, but that'll be the score that Auburn drops.
And now, we mentioned her earlier, Lily Smith. First team All-American a couple of years ago in bars, all SEC team two-timer. As good as it gets.
Yeah, she has some of the best technique in college gymnastics. Matt, take a look at just the execution throughout. She's just so clean. She does a double tuck dismount. I can't tell if she stuck it, but the crowd went crazy, so I'm gonna go with maybe she did.
She missed on bars on Friday in that quad meet. She did not miss tonight. Give her a 10.
We'll see here that straddle Stalter setting up for that double tuck, super high in the air. She did get a stick. Our guess was right. That is gonna be a big score for Georgia.
She had a 10 back in 2024 on bars. Became the 4th freshman in Georgia gymnastics history with a perfect 10 on bars. We'll see how close she gets here. But the lead likely expanding here for Georgia through a pair of rotations. So as we wait on Lily Smith's score, head coach Jeff Graba from Auburn. What do you make of your squad here, 2 rotations in, Jeff?
Just starting nervous and probably can do a better job than that, but I like how they bounced back on vault. That was pretty good. We had one mistake at the end, but for the most part, I like their attitude. They're starting to fight again. So I just challenge them, go to floor, and let's do what we can do.
What are you looking for, Coach, in these next 2 rotations for your team?
You know, stay as a group, stay focused, stay on mission. You know, you're supposed to just put that behind you and move on. And we've struggled with that in the past, so I really want them to put it behind them and go do what you can do on floor. Because if we do what we can do, we're going to be pretty happy with our performance.
We noticed our cameras caught Sophia Bell talking to the coaches a little bit after that landing. Is she okay?
I think so. You know, I asked her if she was good, and she said she's fine, but we'll see. She's going to warm up floor, and we'll see how she is.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thanks.
Jeff Graba, 3-time SEC Coach of the Year, hoping her team can find the way here with 2 rotations to go. The Gym Dogs having their way so far here in Athletics is presented by Sprouts Farmers Market, official healthy grocer of the Southeastern Conference. Matt Schick, Sydney Sneed, Georgia with a slight lead over Auburn right now through 2 rotations. We talked to Coach Graba earlier. Sophia Bell, step back, and then our cameras caught this. You never want to see that.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to see. Hopefully she's okay. It seems like she is, but you just never know, and it's just tricky.
We'll see how she does and if she's available the rest of the night. Matt Schick, Sydney Sneed. And you think about the importance of tonight's event, not just for team-wise, but individual-wise. no matter whether you win or lose, every event and every score matters when it comes to NQS.
And it matters because the NQS rules are different this year. The consistency will matter from the start of the year to the finish. More of these scores count. There's more pressure in your lineup, so there's not as much room to have these exhibitions and taking people in and out.
And it's used to determine your positioning for the NCAA postseason. A little change this year. You have to use at least 5 away meets and a maximum of 5 home meets, and that's certainly a big change.
Yeah, home meets are really where you have, your own fans and you're in your groove and momentum, you're comfortable. So having a cap on that is going to make a huge difference and put a little bit more pressure on those road scores.
And you look at these season averages overall, the away averages slightly lower.
Yeah, you can see right there, LSU ranks 2nd, but their away average is actually lower than some of the other schools. So it's just interesting how this year we'll see a lot of differences as the season goes on, and that plays into the coach's strategy and what they want to do as well.
The top 4 slots held by SEC teams. You see Arkansas, Missouri, the Georgia Gym Dogs as well here in the top 10. And so far, the Gym Dogs showing why they are one of the best in the country. They've got an early lead. The Auburn Tigers looking to answer in our final 2 rotations. Both of these programs, Auburn and Georgia, implementing mental performance coaches, just visualizing what you're going to do. That's such a key part of gymnastics, Sydney.
Yeah, gymnastics is such a physical sport, but it's also such a mental sport as well. You have to have that mindset and those mental cues throughout your routines and just prepping for season.
You look at where we are right now. After the first rotation, Georgia led by .775. They expanded that by 1/10 of a point after 2 rotations. Harley Tomlin leading things off on the beam for Georgia out of Pittsburgh, PA. Tomlin, Pittsburgh, daughter of Mike Tomlin, who's also in the house tonight, former Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. Had her first 9.90 on the beam on Friday night.
Yeah, she is a really strong leadoff for them. Beam, we always say it's the make or break event, but she continues to prove why she should be first in this lineup. You see right there, she just did a triple series, which is very difficult. A back handspring, back layout.
4-inch wide beam. Stood right by that beforehand and said, no thank you.
You didn't want to hop up there, do a couple tricks?
I was neither asked nor did I say please.
So far, she's done a great job staying calm throughout this routine. Just her dismount, that round off 1.5, small hop forwards. But she did her job there. She led them off. It's gonna be a solid score for them. Proud dad moment there.
The standard is the standard here for Harley Tomlin.
You can see right there that back handspring, back layout. 3-series combination. And he is pumped. Dad loves it.
Make the routine plays routinely. Harley doing just that. To the floor we go in this third rotation. Bryn Bartman out of Black Mountain, North Carolina. Had a career high last year against Georgia, the 9.85. Auburn 7th nationally in Florida.
Yeah, this is an event where they're going to be looking to get a high score. They can really excel with the potential that they have. That first pass, she did a round off 1.5 to a front layout. So a solid start. A nice explosive heat series there.
What makes a good floor routine?
Floor has the tumbling, so you want that high tumbling, those controlled landings, but it also has a part of artistry and leaps that the judges are looking at just as much as the tumbling. And she ends with a double pike. A nice start for Auburn. That was a good routine, very clean.
Last week against Florida, had a 9.85 to get things going. You see the energy there from the Auburn Tigers, which Coach Graben was hoping to see. See Tomlin penciling in a 9.80 on the beam as the anchor. And now Brooke Gleichowski, the sophomore out of Gainesville, Florida. Oddly enough, has a golden retriever named Georgia. Very fitting. Look at her season average of 9.85.
It's really important on balance beam to stay in your zone and stay focused. Another triple series that we just saw from Harley Tomlin. Brooke does the same thing.
She can score well in this event, has a career high of 9.95.
And one thing I really like about this routine is just the confidence that she's showing all the way through. Her skills and her dance. Just gearing up for her dismount here. She does another round off 1.5. The tiniest hop, and again, we call out these landings because those are deductions that the judges are taking. So when you have those on every athlete, those do end up adding up at the end of the rotations and events and then meet as a whole. So that's why sticks are so important. But look here, she did not give up deductions many places else throughout that routine.
There's a team in Georgia that had a season high on Friday, scoring as a team, 49.550. Now Alex Irvine, second leg here on the floor, second season with Auburn. Doing every event tonight except the vault.
She started with that front Rudy into a stag jump to start. Sometimes those Rudies can be tough to control when you're adding in a jump.
Trying to follow up her teammate Bryn Bartman, who had a 9.825 as that score has come in. Lowest of the 6 will be dropped.
And she's having fun with this floor routine.
I did hear a dog bark there.
I heard that too. She does that round off back half into a front full.
And that step forward will be a deduction that we saw.
You're allowed to take a lunge on floor exercise, but that's up to the judges how much they want to take. So if you're taking a really big step, then they're going to take off. But floor, you're not expected to stick.
Sure. Let's take a look at these. Take a look at her tumbling pass.
You can see here she does that front 1.5, sets herself up really nicely. The stag jump, a little bit out of control. If the judges do want to take something on that, they could. Last pass, no problem there.
We'll wait on that as Khalees Wolford ready for the beam following Gleichowski's season-high 9.850.
Wow, she starts off with that wolf turn. Those are very difficult on the 4-inch wide balance beam.
Tied her career high Friday night in that quad meet.
Really nice save. She does the back handspring back layout and took an extra step back. But love the flexibility that she's showing in those leaps right there. The judges are looking at that 180-degree split.
She tied for the top spot for the event at Ohio State earlier this season. Here's the dismount.
She's gonna end with a round-up double fall. Didn't get the stick. The judges might take a little bit more. She had her chest down. You saw her shoulders kind of drop. Almost looked like she was going for the stick a little bit too hard. Sometimes that can be tough. But she does that back handspring back layout. Watch how instead of taking a huge wobble, she just takes an extra step back. So nice job there, thinking on her feet, but then her knees just buckled a bit and had to take a step forwards.
Coach Seal behind her with the encouragement of applause after the dismount. Here's Olivia Ahern, the sophomore out of Memphis, Tennessee, had a 9.80 last week in the meet against Florida.
You see that wolf turn that we just saw on balance beam. You can do it on floor as well. Take a look at this first pass. She's gonna do a front Rudy into a back layout step out. Watch the height she gets. Beautifully done. It's all about the timing when you're doing one skill into another, that combination, to be able to get that height that she did. Next tumbling pass, she does a round up 1.5 front full. Didn't quite get that front full all the way around. A nice routine for Auburn. Would have loved to have seen a little more twist on that last pass, but other than that, still a good score for them.
Now, Lily Smith, the junior, who can do it all, and she has done it all in a collaboration with Red Bull recently. Just 400 feet above New York City. You see Central Park in the background. Did a routine on an extra tall beam, approximately 7 feet tall. The standard beam, 4 feet tall. So this should be nothing, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be like nothing for her. She could do this with her eyes closed.
Has a career high of 9.95 on the beam. She's done that a half dozen times.
She is just so calm on balance beam. So gorgeous to watch. She does that front aerial to a back tuck. She was off on that front aerial, but did a phenomenal job at being able to square it off and not even show the judges.
As Coach Cecile, what makes her so special? She says she does a cartwheel and it's gorgeous.
Just the extension that she has that goes all the way from her fingertips down to her toe point. That front toss right there, just so much height. She does it in a piked position. It's easily one of the best in college gymnastics. We did see a little bit earlier, she messed up that leap combination. She had a wobble on that. So if she has to make up a connection somewhere throughout the routine, she needs to think on her feet to be able to get that 10-0 start value. She does that back handspring, gainer full off the side. Not a routine that she is going to be too happy with because of the perfectionist that she is and because of the potential that she has. But still, she stayed on the beam. She was able to get through the routine and looked gorgeous while doing it. Take a look at how she was so off on that front aerial, and you couldn't even tell because she covered it so well. And then again, that dismount landed a little short on that as well.
Lily Smith, not the last we have seen from her tonight. We go back to the floor for Auburn. Marissa Neal competing in the all-around tonight. Second season with the Tigers. Had a career-high 990 last week against Florida.
And she starts with that round-off back handspring double pike. She has so much height. She's such a quick and dynamic athlete. And you can see that through her tumbling. This is really an event for her to shine.
How many coaches are involved with the choreography of some of these?
Great question. Usually there's one person or coach that does your choreography. Every team is very different. So it kind of depends on what you want. But typically one coach will do it. Or they'll bring someone in to do it, which is always fun.
And the teammates behind her, choreographing with her. Tumbling pass.
And she does that front tug through to the double tuck. Difficult pass to end on. But what a way for her to end that floor routine. I really enjoyed watching that, and that's going to be a solid score for Auburn.
Women's basketball takes over the SEC Network every Thursday night. This week, number 3 South Carolina hosts Mississippi State at 6:30 Eastern. The number 17 Ole Miss squared off against number 24 Alabama. Both games available on the ESPN app. We head back to the beam with Jeffrey Scott in her 4th season with Georgia. And a 9.90 for her season high, usually around the 9.8s.
It's such a treat to be able to watch her. She just has such big gymnastics. And what's unique about her is she's powerful, but also elegant. And it's hard to be both of those things in a sport like gymnastics. But right there, that back handspring back layout had so much power, but she's able to make it look so easy at the same time.
Former all-SEC teamer, SEC all-freshman team her first year. Only gotten better. When we see Lily Smith's name grayed out there in the beam, but that is the lowest score at this jump.
And to note that switch loop split jump, gorgeous extension and split in the air. That's exactly what the judges want to see. Here we go with the iconic moonwalk. I was waiting for that. I didn't want to spoil it, but that is by far a highlight of the routine. All she has left is her dismount. She's going to do a front handspring into 1.5. And she gets pretty much a stick, we'll call it. I think 1 foot slightly moved, but that was awesome to watch. We see here her series back handspring, back layout. No problems there. And then that moonwalk on a 4-inch beam, too.
What a performance. Olivia Graves now back on floor, the junior from Staten Island.
She's a great performer to watch as well. And this choreography that we talk about, it takes hours and hours to get your routine to where you want it to be. So this is something that these athletes practice through preseason, through the fall. It's not something that you can just wake up and do. Unfortunately had a fall on that double tuck.
That's a half-point deduction.
Yeah, it is, and she went out of bounds, so not what they were looking for. falls are always so tough too. You know, these gymnasts work so hard, and these are uncharacteristic for them.
You have to put it behind you.
Absolutely. You have to go to move on to the next event. Once it's done, it's done. She ends with the double pike.
Boy, this is a team against Florida. They had a 49.3, their highest score of that meet. They called it a party. Not looking like that tonight.
Yeah, and again, there's just little things throughout that they are going to want to improve on. You see right here, does double tuck, looks great, just buckled her knees at the very end, which caused her to fall backwards. So the potential for them in Auburn is there, and that's what we talked about. Jeff Graba told us on the call, I know that there's potential, we just have to put it all together. And that's what they're going to be looking to do.
Now Kamara Williams, so talented. Freshman on the beam. Didn't enroll until mid-December. Stayed connected with the girls through Snapchats. And Coach Cecile said, no, I was not on those snaps.
She does that back handspring, back layout 2-foot. That height was insane that she was able to get on balance beam. And to be in this anchor position, there's a little bit more pressure with that. So far, her lineup has performed very well. Obviously looking to drop Lily Smith's score. But what a powerful athlete she is as well. And that's able to shine through her beam routine. Each skill here. And smiling on beam. If you can get a smile on beam, then you're doing pretty good. Getting ready right here for her dismount. She does that gainer back pike off the end, lands with a stick. That is a way to top off this lineup.
Kamara Williams, fans saying, give us a 10, judges.
They are chanting 10 in here. Look at the height on that back layout. She whips it around. And then into the gainer back pike, just drops it right in her chest, completely up. You see Cecile there jumping up and down. That's what they live for.
Well, it's a great sight to see Sophia Bell competing after we saw her in tears after the vault. It looked like she might have gotten hurt, but there's a difference between hurt and injured. And Sophia Bell ready to compete here on the floor.
Yeah, I'm so glad that she was okay on that. She does a front double full into a front layout.
She graves that 8.950. That will clearly be grayed out. And you can hear the screaming going on. It can usually only mean one thing.
It looks like one judge gave her a 10. That's the hard part about gymnastics. 2 scorers that are average, 2 judges.
Kamara Williams, a 9.95.
That's still something to get really excited about, though. That's awesome for her, and only being a freshman, too. Just so much potential.
Had one judge give a 10, another give the 9.9. Which gives the average here as we take a look at Sophia Bell.
And she just ended with that double pike. I loved the height she got on that as well. She set herself up so nice. That chest up on the controlled landing. This is going to be a big score for Auburn, too.
SEC all-freshman team on the floor last season. And her career is just getting started here at Auburn.
See here how she does that front double full, is able to twist, punch into that front layout. And then on this last pass, watch how she sets up right here, rotates all the way around, drops it right in. Just missed the mat there. But still a really nice routine from Sophia Bell.
Not much has gone wrong for Georgia tonight. A slight hiccup there with Lily Smith. But if she's the one that's score is dropped, you know it's a good night.
Oh yeah, they are on fire right now. And going into their best event. I'm excited to see what they can do here.
Through 3 rotations as Georgia expands the lead. Cecile Kenkuta-Landy, co-head coach for Georgia. 8 season highs so far tonight, Coach Cecile. What do you think?
I'm excited. You know, it's our first double weekend of the year, and even last season we didn't do any, so to see the girls rising to the occasion and taking the experience is awesome.
What is your message to the team heading into your best rotation?
Just show what we're the #1 team in the country on floor. Just have fun. Just really have fun. Enjoy the crowd. The crowd is awesome.
A lot of reasons to have fun tonight. Thank you, Coach, and best of luck in the final event.
Thank you.
1 rotation to go. 3 down, 1 to go, and Georgia Gym Dogs, Coach Tomlin, the Tigers, everyone's having fun tonight. 1 rotation to go here in Athens. Georgia has widened the lead to more than a point as we enter the final rotation. And this is not the rotation where you want to be trailing, because the Georgia Gym Dogs are first in floor. More on that in a moment. Gymnastics takes over the SEC network every Friday night. And this week, number 6 Arkansas hosts the number 8 Georgia Gym Dogs at 7 Eastern at Bud Walton Arena. Then number 1 Oklahoma hosts 3rd-ranked Alabama. Both meets are also available on the ESPN app. Georgia, number 1 nationally in floor. Lily Smith, a huge reason why.
Lily Smith getting her first 10.0 on floor on Friday. And here is why: absolute perfection all the way around. Her lines, her extensions, her controlled landings, just everything about her very well deserved.
Number 1 in floor for a reason. Not only Lily Smith, but Kamara Williams and Nyla Aquino. 3 top 5 athletes on floor. Certainly a triple threat, and they do very different things.
That is a triple threat right there. Take a look at those averages and rankings. I mean, watching them on floor, they absolutely dominate. You can see right here the power and the height on these landings, on the acro skills. That was a double layout right there, you could see. And then Lily Smith, look at the extension, how she's able to get that 180-degree split even more than. And then right here with Kamara Williams, she sets herself up so well on the height, but also the landing. Her chest is up. She's able to break out of that. Look at the feet, how controlled. She doesn't even need to take that step back. So all 3 such different athletes, but also have so much talent and potential for those high scores on floor.
More than 7,400 fans in attendance tonight at the Stag. Looking to watch their Georgia Gym Dogs finish it off less than 2 minutes away from the final rotation. 9-5, a season high for Kamara Williams on the beam.
Huge standout routine for Georgia. Just the explosiveness and power, but also calmness and confidence throughout her routine. She went 9.95. One judge gave her a 10, but solidified that score with a stuck dismount there. We'll see her again on floor, but what a night she's having.
8 individual season highs for the Georgia Gym Dogs. On the flip side, Auburn, no 9-9s tonight. That's hard to fathom going into the final rotation.
That's something that the coaches are going to have to take a look at. Where can we make up? Where can we get those 9-9s? Because those are crucial and important things that you have to have in these tight competitions.
Matt Schick, former All-American Sydney Sneed. In the final rotation, Olivia Ahern leading things off here. Had a season high 9.875 against Florida last time out.
And we saw her start with that wolf turn that we mentioned earlier. It's very difficult on balance beam.
She was 9.85 or better 4 times last year. Looking for more of the same, if not better, tonight.
Yeah, she's in this leadoff position for a reason. She's just so mentally strong and disciplined. You can see it through her gymnastics. She just has that round off 1.5, gets the stick. Really strong spot for her, and a nice routine for Auburn to start.
A team that is 11th nationally in beam entering this week. Look at some of the collegiate gymnastics meets upcoming next Friday, Friday Night Lights. Again, those scores on the right, that's the score tower. Those scores will populate as the judges reach their decisions. Emma Weary. Like that, Erin Williams doing floor now for Georgia.
She's an athlete that's just really stepped into this lineup strong. I love this routine. She starts off with a round-up back handspring double pike. You can see the controlled landing, a tiny lunge back. She does that switch side to straddle full as her leap combo there. Her next pass, a front layout into a front fall. Really fun facial expressions throughout this routine.
How important is that in your routine?
I would say it's more for fun. It just gives you, your teammates hyped up. It's part of that performance aspect of floor exercise. Something unique about this routine, she does do 3 tumbling passes. We don't see that as often now in college gymnastics. So 3, that takes more endurance, more power. You're a little more worn out at the end of this, but not for her. She does a round-up back handspring double tuck to end that. That's gonna be a really good score for Georgia.
Erin Williams. Fantastic on floor.
We'll see here, round up back handspring, sets up the double pike, breaks out of it. And then right here, gets higher on that front full. When you do those combination skills, you want to rise on that second skill in that combo there. So really pretty.
Well, Emma Weary trying to follow up Ahern's 9.775. Auburn still looking for their first 9.9 of the night. Weary spent 3 seasons at West Virginia, sat out last year because of an injury, so she's been making a push to be in the lineup, multiple events, getting her shot tonight on B.
She starts with that back handspring back layout series. It's hard in an arena and environment like this when you're the away team to end on an event like balance beam. It's not easy, and part of it coming from floor exercise. You have so much adrenaline and you're jumping and it's explosive, and then beam is just very calm. It's a calm event. So you have to shift your mindset when you're heading over to this next event.
Yeah, you're at a 10, you gotta bring it down to a 6 or 5 here.
Yeah, that is a real thought in some of these athletes' minds. It's important. So far, she's been in the groove, doing a great job. Ends with a stuck landing. We'll see if these sticks are contagious for Auburn. Take another look here at this dismount. She does that fall off the side, drops right into it. That's a unique dismount right there.
The difference between going off the side and the front, what are the different challenges?
Well, they're just very different dismounts. So some athletes feel like maybe they have more control going off the side versus having to do a little bit more going off the end of the beam. It's really athlete preference.
Addie Wall, as you see, Erin Williams gets that 9.875. That ties the season high for Williams. Addie Wall had a new season high Friday night in that quad meet of a 9.875.
She's gonna come out strong with a big E tumbling pass here. She does that full in. She made that look really easy. It's actually a double back with a full twist. Next tumbling pass, a front through to a double tuck. So a lot of power and difficulty that these floor routines have. So that's, again, that risk versus reward we talked about. If you're going to do these big passes, you want that reward to come with it. And Georgia is a perfect example of getting that success from this.
What's the impact, too, of having a large lead going into the last event? Is that something that factors into anything that these athletes do?
Yes and no. I think it's nice to have a large lead, but really you're more focused on your team and staying in your bubble. What can we do? What is our potential, and what are we trying to get out of this event?
Well, Georgia getting excellence out of this event and this entire night.
It's getting louder and louder after each routine, so I can only imagine how it's going to be at the end of this lineup. We'll see right here, this E-level pass. She twists all the way through, breaks out of it. She's excited about it. And then last pass ending with a double tuck. Again, hard to do.
And for the average fans that are just casually tuning in, you say E-level pass. What do you mean by that?
There's levels of difficulties in your skills. So A being the easiest, E being the most difficult. And we'll see some E passes from Georgia. But yes, something to note.
Hannah Hagel in her 4th season with Auburn, the senior. Second on the team in the meet against Florida last week with a 9.85.
She's a fantastic beam worker. She starts out with that front aerial to back handspring combination.
Lone senior in the lineup tonight out of Texas.
She just looks so focused, so confident and so focused on this event. You see her do that really unique connection. She does that jump into the back handspring swing down. Just has the dismount left. The gainer pike was on her tippy toes. I think she held on to the stick, but that was a really gorgeous routine to watch.
Surrounded by her teammates, great energy from the Tigers and Coach Graba's team tonight. Again, Auburn trailing here, trying to finish on a high note. And now Harley Tomlin and Dad Mike Tomlin in attendance watching her daughter. Harley from Pittsburgh, PA. Look at the smile on the face of Coach Tomlin. Love that.
She's also going to start out with an E skill. It's a huge double Arabian into a stag jump. And she's on it. Look at the height. She even had too much power and she was able to control it. But she does that every single time. It just speaks to how great of an athlete she is.
Addie Wall already in the clubhouse with a 9.9.
Even the height she has on those leaps.
Brothers played football at Boston College, another at Columbia. Harley Tomlin ready to tumble.
She's gonna end with the double back. She does that front through. It looks like she stepped out of bounds there. Having too much power is a great problem to have. That's easy to fix. You want that. But again, I'm not sure what the judges will take. You can see right here this double Arabian. Oh my gosh, the height is insane. In the stag jump, she's able to keep it in bounds there. But then right here, she does a front layout into a double tuck. Just too much power there. So that'll be a little bit more of a deduction for the out of bounds if they called it.
So Hagel following her 9.825 as that has been posted. So Ahern right now is the lowest score. Alex Irvine had a 9.80 last week against Florida.
She started off that routine with a front toss into a back handspring. she does a really nice job with her connections. They're very smooth. They flow through extremely well, which is something that you look at with start values. The judges are looking at those connections to make sure you get them. A very unique one-arm back handspring she just did there. A back handspring with 2 hands is hard enough on the beam. So take away one of them.
You're preaching to the choir.
And then she ends her routine with that tuck gainer full. Very pretty beam routine for Auburn. Let's look again at this switch. Like, this deserves a replay. Look at this back handspring with one arm. That takes strength and balance right there. And then this dismount off the end. That tuck full gainer into a stick. I love that routine.
Former walk-on at UCLA, walked on here last year, came into Auburn as a one-event athlete. Could be an all-around by the end of the year, according to her head coach. Nyla Aquino, the sophomore out of Boston, Mass.
One of my favorite routines to watch because she is such a performer. Big first pass here. She does that double layout we saw earlier, heading into floor. The height and the landing on that is just next level.
Her uncle's a professional dancer, dances off Broadway. You can see it kind of runs in the family.
Front tuck through to double tuck. The height, she almost went off of the screen. That's how high she got.
SEC all-freshman team last year. Turns 20 next month.
And she is just having fun out there, which is what it's all about. That switch half leap to wolf full there. Wow, what a fun routine. Not only from the performance, but the big tumbling. Oh my goodness. Just the height and the explosiveness she had on both of these. Look at the height on that double layout and then the controlled landing. The judges, if I'm being nitpicky, a bit of a bigger lunge, so they maybe will take a little bit on that. But then notice how she actually got higher on that double tuck. On that second flip, she actually rose in the air. Very impressive.
Harley Tomlin right now, the lowest score for Georgia. You see Auburn, Alex Irvine, that 9.90. The first 9.9 of the night for Auburn here in rotation number 4.
Now Olivia Greaves hoping to build off of that. So far, a really nice start with that double wolf turn. It takes a lot of core strength to be able to turn around the beam in that direction 2 times in a row. And she goes into that back handspring back layout series.
The score was dropped last week against Florida at a fall. So far, so good for Greaves.
Yeah, you saw her just do that split jump to stag jump. That's a tricky jump series with the stag jump because you're throwing your head backwards. So your head is leaving the beam, which is where you're spotting. So that is difficult to do. She ends with that back height gainer off of the end.
Starting to see why this Auburn team is a top 15 team here. Took them a while to get going. 11th nationally in beam. Had a great week last week against Florida as well.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Jeff Graba told us. I know that they have the tools. It's just putting it all together and coming out strong.
Good score the judges give Greaves. 2 more to go on the floor for Georgia, and cannot wait for this. Kamara Williams, the freshman, choreographed her own floor routine. How rare is that?
That is so rare. I couldn't believe it when they told us that she choreographed her own, to be able to just have that capacity to make it up, I mean, and then perform it as well.
Well, we're going back to the 90s here. The Poison.
Huge double layout right here. And absolutely, that's the controlled landing. That's picture perfect textbook that you want to see. The judges are looking at right there. Let's switch side to straddle full right there.
Again, did not join the team officially until mid-December. Knew a bunch of the freshmen, trained in the summer with a couple of the athletes. Trained with Buckeye training. Stayed in touch with snaps. And how about this pass?
She does a front tuck through to a double tuck. I mean, I can imagine everyone's going to be chanting 10 after this routine for how good that was. Just incredible on the landings, which again is the biggest thing that the judges have their eyes on. She is not giving them a reason for deductions tonight.
Well done from Kamara Williams.
They've got a sign for her and everything. We'll see right here on these next passes. Just first pass, huge. She rises on the second flip. Didn't even need that step. And then again here, that front tuck through to the double tuck.
That's as good as we've seen tonight.
Absolutely, I will agree with you on that. You would have never known that she just got here in December.
She had a 9.95 against Oklahoma, won a share of the floor title. And we're waiting the scores. How about a 9.975 for Kamara Williams? A 10 and a 9.95 from the two judges.
So she's gotten 2 10s tonight. What? From 2 different judges. Wow, she has been so much fun to watch.
Now Marissa Neal. And the all-around tonight, finishing here on beam.
She did that back handspring, back layout, back layout. That's a triple series, but particularly that one doing 2 layouts is very tough. Her extension throughout her routines is just so great.
She had a 9.8 or better 9 times last year on the beam, had a 9.9 this year.
Round of 1.5, and that is why she is Auburn's anchor on this event. Phenomenal job on that routine. Her triple series, that back handspring, into the back layout, into another back layout. I am dizzy just watching that. And then ends with that round of 1.5, had great height. She's so quick off the beam, which is why she's able to drop it in to that stick.
Now we'll await that score. We go to the floor. What better way to finish for Georgia than with Lily Smith, who scored a 10, her first 10 on the floor in her career on Friday night.
We touched on this earlier, but this is a different type of routine than what we've been seeing. She is more of a twisting athlete and has such gorgeous lines. So a lot of twisting elements throughout that we'll see here. And she's gonna start with a front double full into a front tuck. Beautifully done.
You asked her coach, Coach Seal, who does she remind you of? Oh, nobody special, just Nastia Lukin.
No big deal, just Nastia.
2008
But
all-around champ.
That she actually does, and the way that she has her gymnastics performs, I mean, the artistry, truly she's in a league of her own, just with her elegance that she brings. And watch right here, she's gonna do a front 1.5 into a straddle jump. Look at the height and the extension, her legs just so far above that 180-degree split. I'm thinking that we're going to hear some more 10 chants. But
she had a 10 Friday night. How about a double dip?
Can't you do it 2 times in a row? I mean, she's the one to be able to. She had such controlled landings. One thing I love is how she holds her landings. She's showing the judges, hey, look at me. There's nothing for you to take. Watch right here. She does that front double full into the punch front and then just holds it. Again, she does a 1.5 this time. Huge, look at her legs. Above that 180 degree, just so much flexibility.
Ready to be another first-team All-American on the floor this year.
Wow.
And oh boy, the average, a 9.975 is the average. Because the first judge gave a 9.5.
One judge gave a 10.
And one gave a 10.
Yep.
Math is hard. Probably deserved it. Where'd you see a deduction there? Did you see it?
I really didn't. I don't know. Maybe a little bit on the front tug from out of the front double full. You know, maybe they were looking at that height. That's if we're being really picky.
How about 2 9.975s to finish the meet? Georgia takes it over Auburn. We've got plenty. Fairly convincing win here for Georgia, winning it by 1.5 points tonight. And it is time to look at today's extra effort brought to you by Regions Bank. Kamara Williams, need we say more?
I mean, she has been lights out tonight. Phenomenal in every area. You saw that stick on vault to start out, then went over to the beam, had such control and confidence throughout her routine, and then ended on floor with just explosive tumbling and dance to wrap up her night. 9.95 plus all the way around. What an incredible night.
10 season highs, 3 of them from Kamara Williams, the freshman who joins us now. How would you characterize your night tonight, Kamara?
Really fun. I was just like, my warm-up was not the best, so coming out and just taking a breather and just leaving the past in the past, I came out and did what I had to do and had fun doing it. And that's all that matters.
Kamara, you came to Athens in December. How have you been able to hit the ground running here so quickly?
It hasn't been easy, but my team has made it much easier for me to like just be comfortable in my space and stuff like that. School, like class, coming along, but it really wasn't as bad as you guys thought it was. It was just a lot.
It's a lot, and
yeah.
You've done great. Congratulations on your night tonight.
Thank you so much.
Kamara Williams, the freshman out of Kansas City, finishing off with a 9.975 on the floor and a 1.97550 for the team as a whole. As you look at the meet summary, Marissa Neal does win the all-around, but Georgia takes the meet. How about a 4.9475 on the vault? That's a season high. We mentioned Kamara Williams, 10 season highs for Georgia, a team season high on the vault and the floor. All was not lost for Auburn. They didn't have any 9.9s until the final rotation. They came up with a couple of them.
Yeah, and Georgia really did a great job building after their last meet. They're going to have so much confidence. The Gym Dogs are back. They're on fire. They're just going to keep that momentum rolling. Auburn, on the other hand, they still got that 196 with minor mistakes here and there that they'll be able to clean up and continue on as well. So but a lot of potential for both teams. I'm excited to see the next couple of meets for them.
Great night tonight. For Carly, our producer, for Sydney Sneed, I'm Matt Schick. Once again, the Georgia Gym Dogs at the top. For Sydney Sneed, I'm Matt Schick saying so long from Athens.